Good morning, my soul family. Danya Sperry here, spokesperson for Aubriana Rose. Now, I've gotten quite a bit of feedback most recently on who is this Aubriana Rose and these books that you're sponsoring or you're spokesperson for. Aubriana Rose is an author of 3 nonfiction books. They are her trilogy of her life. Now, obviously, everyone has adversities. However, some people have far more trauma, stress, and everyday, almost like the ocean waves pounding up against them nonstop. And when we reach what I call, a breakdown, but I call it a breakthrough. And some people that go through these situations in our life, we're faced with choice. Do we continue living in the familiar chaos, depression, anxiety, whatever it is that we are bombarded with daily? Physical abuse, verbal abuse. So when we're faced with this, do we stay in that comfortable chaos or do we rise to our feet? Do we dust off the dirt and do we start progressing forward? Now, this progression can be at the speed of a turtle, or it can be as fast as a rabbit. It's our choice. We set the pace for our healing and for the medicines that come into our life. So Aubriana Rose overcame her traumas. She overcame all of the different situations that she went through as an infant, all the way up until present day life. And in her writings, she talks about all of the tools that helped her, knowing one day that these tools would help you as well. So we'll be touching on 2 different topics today. And the topic today is this rising up from within. And I'd like to read one portion from Flying in Love. But before I do, I'd like you to be able to see it. Aubriana Rose. Now, Flying in Love. To fly, we need to learn to first, there's the F, love, there's the L, yourself. First, love yourself. That's the significance of fly. And in this case, the title of the book, Flying in Love by Aubriana Rose. On the back, it's really sweet because the little boy and the little girl, they are learning how to fly in love. You can see that they're flying and they're headed towards the big, expansive world outdoors. You can see that the sun is behind the dark, luminous clouds. They're flying. They're on their journey. They're flying there. So the inside cover shows a woman standing at the top of a mountain, right at the peak and the edge. The breeze is blowing through her skirt in her hair as she's looking below. So the title of this paragraph I'm reading is called Crucial Crossroads, because as we said at the onset, when we are faced with a crossroads or we're faced with choice to stay in the comfortable zone, which is basically we've gotten used to the chaos and we have so much fear that we really can't make choices. It's more challenging for us, but technically we can make choices. Crucial crossroads. From way up high, where the air was thin, I stood poised at the rocky edge of a cliff. From a steep mountain vantage point, I reviewed a critical point in my life. Far, far below me, I saw myself, a lovely, yet bruised and battered pregnant woman, surrounded by disturbing chaos and frozen in debilitating fear. A fierce loneliness crushed her sweet and caring heart. I leaned forward from my ledge on high and watched with earnest anticipation. Would she rise, or would she stay stuck in her tormented and shattered life? Earnestly I observed myself as a broken and deeply wounded soul. She dug her nails into her scalp and stared wildly at a stranger in the mirror. She bellowed and gagged out gasping cries for help. She dropped to her knees and onto the floor. I just want to be loved. I just want to be loved. Please, won't somebody love me? 15 excruciating minutes had passed, and her crying subsided. A whisper of a memory touched her heart profoundly. Look within, my daughter. You are love. Flying, dancing, gliding, laughing, and free. She lifted her head from the cool linoleum floor. Her trembling hand wiped away her tears, and she rose. So the theme for our discussion today is on the world as it is currently. Not just because of what's going on because of the terrible virus, but has been going on for millennia. And what I mean by that is that the world has been dominated by men. So knowing that the world has been dominated by men for millennia, it would be reasonable to know that there is lack of equilibrium on our planet. Women are water, feminine. Men are fire, masculine. So if our world has been dominated by fire and masculinity for millennia, it would be reasonable to come to the conclusion that there is no equilibrium on our planet. So as the feminine, females, in times past, oftentimes what has occurred is women we're trying to bring the pendulum in the opposite direction, but we're doing it in such a way that it's not balanced for feminine either. So it needs to be done in a way where we're not trying to become men and we're not becoming tough and crude and losing the intuitive nature that we feminine creatures have. We are the divine. We are the sacred cup. We are the water. We're connected with the beautiful ocean. The ocean on our earth represents the creative life force, which is our stomach, where we create life for nearly 1 year growing within us. So in order to bring equilibrium back to this magnificent, beautiful Mother Earth, it is vital that we feminine start learning meditation, Venetian arts such as yoga. You may not be into yoga. You might prefer to do the softer, gentle, flowing Tai Chi forms of exercise. Now, when I'm talking about this as well, I'm not referring to strictly women, because we have male and female chromosomes in our bodies. This information applies to men as well. Men need to get in touch with their softer side, their feminine side, their heart-centered side. And I'm not referring to our physical heart. I'm referring to the nurturing, feminine, loving aspect of you men out there, so you can bring balance into yourself. So, thank you so much for listening, my soul family. I'm getting really wonderful feedback. It makes my heart so happy, and I know it makes Aubriana's heart happy as well. Her books are available online. Free Me From My Cage is the first, Learning to Fly is the second, and Flying in Love is the third. And remember, fly first, love yourself. FLY. Okay, my beautiful family. Again, I am appreciative that you're tuning in. I love you, my soul family, and thank you so much for joining me. Mwah. Bye.